All right. So when you're new to the life insurance industry, it's kind of like when you're excited about, you get that job, you're excited, you've got this opportunity, and you're like, man, I'm licensed to sell life insurance. And, you don't necessarily know what the person's wants or needs are. So the first step with anybody, right, is obviously you start talking to them, right? And then you want to let them know what you are, what you can do,
Yes.
who you are. And then from there, you want to discover. So find out what's needed and wanted from them.
Yes.
And when you discover that, you're like asking questions. For example, you're 38 years old, man. It sounds like you had an interest in wanting to know what you could do for your family. What's the biggest thing you would like to get out of a policy like the one you're thinking of? Because they're already thinking of something. You're not the first person that ever told them this idea, or it would be a lot harder. It'd be a lot more difficult. They wouldn't even be interested because they have no knowledge. So, therefore, the key would be what would you like this policy to do for you? And there's going to be a few different answers. One of them is going to be I just want to make sure if God forbid something happens to me, my wife and my kids are going to be protected. There's not going to be any financial burden on anybody. I would get a 38-year-old person a term policy for multiple reasons. Number one, he's young, he's probably healthy, it's going to be cheaper. And if God forbid something happens to him, it's going to pay out the most and it's going to cost the least. What's the catch? It does have an expiration date. When he's 65, 70, 75, that policy will expire. But if he dies between now and then, his family will get hundreds of thousands of dollars. Whole life is going to be a smaller payout. It builds cash value, but it's not going to be paying out that much because it's going to be kind of expensive. And then the third option is kind of what your buddy said he does for a living on Instagram, whoever that is. They're selling Index Universal Life. They're selling cash paying life policies like a whole life policy. But mostly in IUL, it's growing, it's building interest. Later in the future, you could pull money out tax free. It's going to pay out if you pass away. The cost of insurance does go up as you get older. If you're not paying enough into the policy, if it's not properly structured, then that person's going to be upset with you many years down the road after they've paid hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of dollars into their policy. So you really want to make sure you got somebody who knows what they're doing when they design that third policy. The other two are pretty difficult to mess up. The last one, it has a design and there's lots of different pieces you can move and change. So you really want to make sure that the agent knows what they're doing when they design an IUL. New agents selling IULs is kind of, it worries me because I barely know how to write an IUL. And I've been doing this for 7 years and I have written IULs and they have gone well. But again, it's easy to mess up too, like to not design it properly. And then the person's like not benefiting in the way from it that they should or could. Uh, So I'm just saying that to say that's why we do final expense, whole life, burial, cremation, mortgage protection. If you have a house and you're like, hey, if I pass away, I want my house to be paid off. That's term. That's the one that I said the 38-year-old guy should get because he wants asset protection. He wants something happens to me. I need my family to be covered. I need the debt to be paid, the bills to be paid. I need extra money sitting there for them to live on for a couple of years while they're figuring life out. I want them to not be financially stressed. That's term. That's cheap. That's affordable. Everyone should have a term policy if they can afford it, if it makes sense. That's my training for today. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. So
Mhm.
after with if they have like a term policy and I don't know, for 20 years. After those 20 years, so this person doesn't have anything, how you
Y-
can overcome that objection, like to pay something that at the end.
Yeah.
What
Well,
about if I don't die?
yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that you won't, and I hope that your family won't have to benefit from the money because you're still going to be with us in 20 years. However, your house has got 20 years left on the payments, right? Yes. Okay, well, that house will be paid off and you'll probably be debt free in 20 years, right? Yes. Good. So then this policy, you'll have some extra money, your house will be paid off, they can sell the house if they have to, you're debt free, you have hopefully have some savings or a retirement account. This is to protect your family from a tragedy, unexpected loss. What else did you want to say?
Yeah, that's that makes sense because that is what you say about the needs of the person that they want, maybe, or what they need. Because, for example, if they want to protect the house, turn life, that will be like the best chance, even though it doesn't grow any cash value or whatever.
Yeah.
But if the needs is to protect and maybe say, you know what, but I don't want to just throw my money for 20 years that is going to be protected, but also
Yeah.
I want to grow cash. Okay, that is when you offer maybe the whole life insurance, right?
Yeah,
That
or the
you can,
IUL.
or the IUL, that yes, you are gonna have your house protected, but also you're gonna grow cash value for the
Exactly.
future, and you are not throwing your money out.
Exactly. So you're correct. So everything you said is absolutely right. Now, the other thing is like you, Roro, don't you pay for a term insurance?
No, I'm paying $27.
Exactly. And how much money does your family get if you pass? Like 250,000?
$800,000. 800.
Wow.
Yeah.
$800,000 for $27 a month. That's
Yes.
why, Iceline, that's the answer.
Wow. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, I
Now,
can get you
now,
that
Grippy.
policy and me as well. Go ahead.
Now I know, like the person in the future can have like multiple life insurance. Um, can we offer them a term insurance, and also we can offer him a whole life insurance for to grow cash value, maybe with
Yes.
less face value.
Yes.
Okay.
And you don't want to offer people too many choices. And here's why. People have to understand in order to make a decision. So don't try to tell them about stuff. You want to find out what is important to them first and then get that done. So, for example, if it's, hey, I want to make sure my wife is good to go with the kids, like what you have, Roro, the $27 policy for 800,000, let's get that one done. Have you ever, and then that's completed. That's over with. Good. We got it. Now, let's talk about, hey, what do you have right now that acts like a retirement? Something that grows with interest. Do you have
Yes.
anything like that? No,
Um.
no, I'm just giving you an
Oh, okay.
example.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm giving you an example of what you would say to somebody to discover what's needed and wanted. If somebody doesn't know what you offer because you didn't make yourself known, so contact a person, make yourself known. Here's what I do. Hey, can I give you 60 seconds to tell you what I do? Yes. I help families make sure that if God forbid something happens to them, they're protected. There's no debt. Everything's paid off. They have extra money saved from a policy that will pay out a large amount of money. We protect kids, grandkids, brothers, sisters, cousins. We do burial, cremation. We also help people build savings for a retirement inside of a life policy that earns interest. Any questions? And then they say, whatever, good. And then so that's a part of making yourself known. And then you're going to discover what's needed and wanted from them. And then, of course, after you know that, you can do it, you can produce it, you can make it happen. All right. Now, I could talk to you guys all day long, but that's pretty much all I've got for this topic. So, when you're out there, when you're trying to get with people you know, friends, family, Facebook, Instagram, these are the types of conversations you need to have. You don't want to just start pitching stuff because you don't have any idea what they want or what they need. And we do have multiple products we can offer, but let's keep it super simple. Super simple. That's why
Okay.
I do 50 to 85, 50 to 85 end of life policies.
Okay.
I can close them quick, 30 to 60 minutes, bank account, social, done. I served the family, they're protected. I'll get paid within a week.
Okay.
Depends on when they make their payment. I got a lot of people making their payment in the beginning of August, so I'm going to get a lot of money in the first and second week of August. You know, so you want to try to get people to pay today if you can, but I'd rather them pay in August than not pay at all. So I'll take anything I can get.
Okay.